Action Comics 985, Rob Williams writing, Gilliam March on art. Now we spoke
Guys, the late 90s are back in this book.
We spoke.
This felt like a late 90s Superman book if I've ever read one.
We spoke when this was announced that there was going to be a couple of issues without the usual team, without Jurgens. And I'd forgotten about it until I opened the book, and I went, "Oh yeah, I vaguely remember this." And
well, you say that, but I missed that episode where you discussed that, so I didn't know this at all. I'd missed this news entirely.
When did Jurgens suddenly become crap?
So no. I went to read this. It was going to be the first issue I read. I was like, oh yeah, I'll start with Action Comics. I like Action Comics. Opened it up, saw Williams and March, and just went, nope, I'm reading something else.
So, I used to like Gilliam March's. Is it Gilliam?
Gilliam? Yeah,
Gilliam?
I think so.
Gilliam March. I used to like his art when he was doing some of the Gotham books. I think it lends itself to darkness. Just with the way that he does layouts.
You can hide the shittiness.
Yeah. He should never be allowed to draw Superman again. And that might sound harsh.
No.
But
the very first page is atrocious.
Well, and then there's the page after that where he's in like this weird contorted... When he's above the sub in the air.
No, that's actually my bigger problem with the art, is actually the body posing. That's the biggest thing I've got.
Look at his abs on that very first page, and what is going on there?
Yeah, just not my thing.
There's weird things like you say above the submarine. He's got this weird thing where he's top of it, but he almost looks like Mr. I'll pick a DC character. I was going to say Mr. Fantastic, but no. Plastic Man. He almost looks like Plastic Man, like sticking his neck out. That's what it kind of looks like.
On that same page, the bottom panel where it's just him flying forward, and it's his face. I think that just looks ugly as shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that panel doesn't bother me as much. Like I get why it's not nice, but it's the top of that page that's like freaking me out.
Oh, that's worse. Don't get me wrong.
Or even the next page where, admittedly, I do enjoy that he's bitch slapped a wolf. Like that actually is kind of funny. But
it looks ugly.
He did.
Yeah.
He backhanded the shit out of that dog, man.
You say he backhanded. It looks like the front of his hand still to me because of the way it's twisted.
No, he has it down pointed. Like he's doing the Naruto run.
Also,
and the only reason I know that is because kids at school do it and have to yell at him.
Also, actually, no. To me, it looks like he's a figure skater, and he's just copped one of his poses. This is his ending stance.
No, look, because his thumb is down that way, so he's actually gone like that. So he's still hit with the front of his hand.
Your hand went off screen. No one could see that.
No. Look, but he did that. That's the motion.
It's that one. Yeah, it's the motion.
But it's still the front of his hand.
No, he backhanded. He went like this and then turned it.
Yeah.
Because of momentum.
Yeah, the impact.
He's throwing a frisbee.
Yeah, the impact to the face of the wolf made his hand flip.
But wait, if you're
Superman,
if you're throwing a frisbee, you wouldn't throw it like that. So I think Connor's onto something.
Connor's never onto anything. Don't empower him.
This is just poor art, is what it is.
Yeah. That said, the Machinist was surrounded by robotic animals. I kind of liked, which is what made me think of.
Matt, they're not robotic animals. They're regular animals that are being controlled by robotics.
No, go to that page where you first see the Machinist. That wolf is made.
There's 2 robotic wolves and 2 real wolves.
And then he does the same with the tigers later in.
Oh,
There's robotic tigers.
Okay, I'm copping that up to the art because I never noticed those were robotic wolves.
Oh yeah, no, I noticed automatically. And then you got the one just chilling up there like a cat.
I think that tells you how bad this art is. The fact that Pete just assumed that they were regular wolves.
Well, that's what I mean. It felt like the late 90s again. Like before I was reading comics like I do now, and I would find them in the newsstand, and so I would just buy them. This is what a lot of that felt like.
As much as we are kind of shitting on a lot of this right now, I didn't actually hate this issue. Right?
I liked the story.
Yeah.
The story was good.
I thought there was a couple of character beats that felt a little bit, just the writing was a little bit, like Superman was a bit too angry when he thought Lex was, Lois's worrying at the start felt a bit weird, especially when she pointed out the arc in Superman. Oh, I know we just went on a vacation, but you really need to take some time off. That felt really weird. Like,
the dialogue is super clumsy and very, expositional. Like, when people complain about Jeff Johns' exposition, I'm going to hand him this and go, no, Johns is fine. But But yeah, I liked the whole first narration from Lex.
Yeah, see when it gets to Lex, see when it's Superman and Lex is. I think that's actually the one place where the art kind of works. Is he does a really good Lex being smug face.
Yep.
And that was working for me. Because Lex is being old school Lex, and I actually love that he shows up. He's flying outside it's the classic shot. Superman's floating outside of Lex's penthouse or the top of his business tower, and Lex is like, "Hey, Superman, we don't do that anymore." Like,
no, yeah.
I like that line.
When was the last time we saw Lex in green with the purple tie?
It's been a long time.
Exactly. So
it's been a long time because even when he was evil business Lex, it's always been a black suit with like a red or a blue tie. The green. It's been so I liked seeing that. That again, it made it feel throwback. But
obviously, the reason why he goes to Lex is because the chips that the machinist is using is based on Lex tech. So he goes blaming Lex, and Lex is like, "No, I didn't do this." Which admittedly is a little bit annoying. How similar it is to Green Arrow's last issue,
and how much better the Green Arrow issue was.
Oh, of course it was.
Yeah.
Like it just Percy and Williams, or there's kind of a reason Williams is on Suicide Squad.
But
I don't get it though. Like you have, when he shows up, you have that page of him, panel of him screaming Luthor, and then 3 pages later, you've got him going, a team up then.
Yeah, he's like smelling saying a team up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's too angry at the start of that scene, and I actually, like I said, I do like kind of the fun kind of like it feels like a throwaway story. It's kind of okay to see the machinist back. I guess it's one of the John's creations of the New 52, so that's why it's sticking around. But it's okay, it all builds to this cliffhanger where Lex gets overtaken with one of the chips because Machinist has got little fly nano versions that fly around.
It's a super chip that if you try to destroy it, it's going to kill Lex.
Yeah.
So Superman can't just heat vision it off.
So
which are also what are they called? There's something ticks. Is it machine ticks?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna look this up because it's a really goofy name.
Yeah, I don't got an answer for you. But like
mind ticks. Mind ticks.
I did have kind of fun with the plot. I like Lex. It does fall down a lot more though when you compare it to that last issue of Green Arrow. Especially, it's just kind of weird that Green Arrow ended with Superman telling Lex that. Well, not telling Lex, but it definitely felt like they're in a better place right now, and this feels kind of weird coming right after it. And
I feel like Superman was waiting for a reason to yell at Lex, like he's just been chomping at the bit, versus in Green Arrow where he's just kind of keeping an eye on him, and if he steps out of line, he'll be right there to kind of talk him like, "Hey, what's going on, man? You're not acting like yourself lately."
This felt like it was more, not that Percy's subtle, but that felt like more like a
definitely not.
That felt more like Superman where he's just keeping an eye on it, yeah. Whereas this felt like more. No, he's just waiting. He's like the angry person waiting for him to mess up so he can bust in and tell him what's for,
exactly.
which feels on Superman. So that said, though, like you say, it felt very 90s. It did have some fun elements to it, and I'm not necessarily like angry that I'm going to have to read another issue of this before we get back to the main thing. Connor over there is looking angry as hell.
Though. This is one of those examples where you two have said a few times where if the story's all right, you can overlook bad art.
Yeah.
But I can't. When it's like this, I just get angry, and it infects the story for me. So I look at this issue, and I just get angry.
Yeah.
And I just hate it.
I've read far worse that made me want to throw stuff.
I've also seen
this
far
didn't
worse
make
art.
me want to throw it.
This to me isn't like the worst art ever. It's just really Goofy's 90s art.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I found like when all the missiles come up, like I found it really hard to follow that page. Like I actually struggled to follow what was going on and where things were happening.
Get good.
No, I shouldn't have to. This should be clear. This should be. It's a basic action sequence. It should be clear as to what's going on.
I see it. I had no problem with that. I'm looking back at Reddit right now, and it reads like a normal comic. Like you follow the descending action. Like Lex gets hit, then you follow him down, and then Superman gets hit. So
I don't know. Maybe it's just so much of a mess that I struggled.
Yeah, I just don't think you like Yellow March that much.
I really don't.
Yeah. So.
But there's so many explosions on that page that I think that's what was throwing me off. I was like, right, what's happening where? Because of all of them.
Do you know, Matt? I'm starting to suspect that Connor didn't like this issue that much. Just
me too.
Sneaking feeling.
And I went in because this is the last thing I read, and I was waiting to hate it, and then when I didn't, I was like, oh well.
Oh no,
it's by far the worst thing I read this week.
I thought this was mediocre, but I still had an okay time with it. Like I didn't hate I wasn't angry when I finished it. I was like, oh my god, that was terrible. I was like, it was just a fun, goofy, old school Superman story. Whatever. I'll read the next one. It'll be fine. Then we can get to the meat next month with the Oz effect. So we're cool.
Oh man,
I really like the variant. The variant cover's real nice.
I like this. I like the cover on. Well, no, I didn't like the cover on this one. I'm thinking of something else. Definitely, the variant's much better. Hoo-wee.